programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programas offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
저희 방송은 다양한 언어를 제공합니다. 다음을 참고하세요. suprememastertv.com/schedule.
There have been four great scientist warnings to humanity, 1992, 2017, 2019, and 8 days ago. All of the warnings mention our diet. And in the latest warning, it endorses a massive change in diet for us on the planet. We have to reduce the methane emissions coming from agriculture.
COP26 report. Veganism, the top most important solution for halting climate change. Part 1 of 2. Stay with us to find out more.
People think of animals as if they were vegetables, and that is not right. We have to change the way people think about animals. I encourage the Tibetan people and all people to move toward a vegetarian diet that doesn't cause suffering. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, Veg Advocate.
Dzień dobry, precious viewers. That means good day in Polish. I'm Monika. The righteous people of Poland wish that all world leaders will soon enact vegan laws to save our precious planet. Welcome to COP26 report, Veganism, the top most important solution for halting climate change, part 1 of 2. From October 31st to November 12, 2021, 120 world leaders and more than 40,000 participants gathered in Glasgow, Scotland, for the 26th United Nations Conference of Parties, or COP26, to discuss climate change and ways to stop it. On today's program, we'll share the expert opinions of 2 COP26 attendees on the quickest, most efficient solution to the current climate crisis. First, we'll hear from Ed Gamel, Managing Director of Scientists Warning Europe, a global organization representing the views of thousands of climate change experts. The group has repeatedly warned world leaders that we're facing a planetary crisis and recommends a global shift to plant-based foods to significantly lower greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions.
There have been four great scientist warnings to humanity, 1992, 2017, 2019, and 8 days ago. All of the warnings mention our diet. And in the latest warning, it endorses a massive change in diet for us on the planet. We have to reduce the methane emissions coming from agriculture, and the best way to do it is to move away from subsidising and helping the methane-producing meat and dairy processing plants and farms.
Another world-renowned expert attending COP26 was Dr. Shailesh Rao, founder and executive director of Climate Healers, author and co-executive producer of several award-winning environmental documentaries, including Cowspiracy and What the Health. At the November 4th, 2021 press conference in the COP26 Blue Zone, Dr. Rao delivered a speech on behalf of esteemed British actor and animal people rights activist Peter Egan, who was unable to attend. Dr. Rao told media representatives and delegates about the urgent need to resolve the climate change crisis.
World leaders have been meeting for 29 years to try to curb global warming, and in that time, Earth has become a hotter and deadlier planet. That's 29 years of very little action, or as Greta Thunberg would say, blah, blah, blah. Trillions of tons of ice have disappeared over that 29-year period. The burning of fossil fuels and the raising of animals for food has spewed billions of tons of heat-trapping gases into the air, and hundreds of thousands of people have died from this heat. Islands are sinking, glaciers are melting, earthquakes and weather disasters like hurricanes are stoked by climate change. All of us have been watching in horror the destruction of the plant kingdom, the poisoning of our food and water, the killing of helpful bugs and insects and defenseless animals, and the killing of humans. It's been a cycle of endless war against animals, humans, and Mother Earth. In return, we are killing ourselves. Without these new COP26 commitments, we are leaving our children a legacy of global pain, suffering, and death. A legacy of an accelerating mass extinction of species, indeed the annihilation of all life.
In its August 2021 report, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, concluded that strong, rapid, and sustained reductions in methane and CO2 emissions are needed to keep the 1.5 degrees Celsius warming limit within reach.
The IPCC has said global emissions of both CO2 and methane have to be put into rapid decline immediately. The IPCC stressed the rapid reduction of methane emissions, in particular because as a greenhouse gas, methane is over 80 times more powerful than CO2, and dropping it offers a rapid reduction in the rate of global heating. Methane has been largely ignored, as all attention was being focused on CO2. It is methane that poses the greatest danger to the future of our children.
Despite the scientific evidence showing that methane is one of the most potent greenhouse gases, it has been largely ignored, and its levels continue to rise. According to the US Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, current atmospheric methane levels are the highest in 800,000 years.
Atmospheric methane has increased a staggering 265% since the industrial era began and is still accelerating. In 2020, the methane increase was reportedly the largest ever on record, despite COVID-19. The biggest source of methane comes from the livestock industry. 77 billion land animals are slaughtered every year for human consumption. On a global basis, the single greatest source of human-caused methane is from livestock, accounting for 36% of methane.
A recent Climate Healers film, Vega the Cow, states that raising animal people for food is responsible for 87% of all greenhouse gas emissions. However, many people still refuse to acknowledge the link between meat consumption and global warming. In fact, many of the COP26 meals were meat-based.
When I come to a conference like this, even a climate change conference, and I see meat being served in the cafeterias, I feel insulted. I feel like I'm not being taken seriously. Because if we are taken seriously, it will be entirely plant-based. It will be an entirely vegan conference. That means we know that that's one thing we can do. In our sleep, we can do that. Change over to a vegan diet.
turn vegan? Wow, you've matured spiritually so fast.
Virtuous viewers will now help to cool our planet by enjoying some delicious organic fruit and veggies from our local farmers market. We'll be back after this message. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Heroic viewers, welcome back to our program, COP26 Report, Veganism, the top most important solution for halting climate change. A scientific study conducted by the University of Minnesota, USA, and the University of Oxford, UK, published in the November 2020 issue of Science Journal, states that it will be impossible to limit climate change to 1.5 degrees Celsius without a change to our global food system. The study concludes that a massive shift to the plant-based lifestyle is the most effective way to lower food system emissions.
Animal agriculture is the leading cause of climate change, life or death situation. We won't survive unless we eliminate all sources of methane. If it is a life or death situation, I ask us all to consider, why not go vegan? Because everything else will take far too long to implement, and we must act quickly.
During his speech, Dr. Rao quoted from Supreme Master Ching Hai's climate change books, Love is the Only Solution, and From Crisis to Peace.
In the book, Love is the Only Solution, she says, you may ask, what is the main cause of this damage and destruction to the environment? Perhaps surprisingly, it's not the coal industry, or cars, or planes, or trains, or boats, or ships. It's methane, which is produced primarily by the livestock industry. So if the livestock industry is the primary cause of this disastrous situation we find ourselves in, the solution is easy, isn't it? We must change our diet. In her book, From Crisis to Peace, this same enlightened teacher has said, if everybody stops eating meat right now, within 8 weeks' time, the weather will change into a benevolent one. Everything that has been damaged will be returned to normal in 8 weeks' time. If everybody on the planet stopped eating meat and turned into a compassionate heart, then the result will be immediate.
Dr. Rao stated that since humans have caused climate change, humans can also reverse it by making what he calls a system change.
We have a system that's designed for heating the climate. It's a system of normalized violence that's designed for heating the climate. Now we are called to design a system for healing the climate, for reversing some of the heating that we have done, and to stabilize it. All the animals are looking to us to see that we become the climate regulator species of the planet. So now it's a system change that's needed, from war to peace, from violence to non-violence. So it has to be a system of normalized non-violence. And that's the kind of conversation that should be happening in these world gatherings.
Many thanks, esteemed scientists and experts, for repeatedly advising us to shift to a plant-based diet to save the world. May you be blessed for your noble efforts. For several decades, our most beloved Supreme Master Ching Hai has worked tirelessly to remind us that there is only one solution to climate change: the global adoption of the vegan lifestyle.
A vegan diet will stop 80% of global warming, stop all the cruelty beginning on our plate, generating loving, kind energy around the world, stop water shortage and water pollution, stop food shortages, stop hunger and war, prevent deadly diseases, save enormous tax and medical bills to build a better world, and support new useful inventions and good people's organization. The list goes on and on. We all want to have a peaceful world, and we all talk about how we want peace and love. Well, I think we should start it now, and let peace begins on our plate. And let love begin with our choice. All the benefits of a vegan diet cannot be overstated.
Our deepest gratitude goes to Supreme Master Ching Hai for reminding us about the urgency of adopting a plant-based lifestyle to save the animal people, the environment, and our lives. We pray that World Vegan is quickly realized. For more information on Ed Gemmell and Scientists Warning Europe, please visit scientistswarningeurope.org.uk. For more information on Dr. Shailesh Rao and climate healers, please visit climatehealers.org.
All information concerning the scientific evidence of climate change and its solution is in Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, From Crisis to Peace, free for download at crisistopeace.org. Humanity is facing an unprecedented global emergency due to worsening climate change disasters, the pandemic, conflicts and violence, as well as social and political turmoil. In the new book, Love is the Only Solution, Supreme Master Ching Hai shows us the key to answering all these crises. Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, Love is the Only Solution, free for download at loveforpeace.org.
Vegan. Imagine living in a world where all we eat and drink tastes like pure nectar with no blood in it.
Wise viewers, thank you for your company today. Please join us again on Monday, March 21st, for the concluding episode in this series. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for ASPAS, Guardian of Wildlife People and Biodiversity, Part 1 of 2. May the lives of all beings on Earth be respected, protected, and cherished.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/PE.